Have your legs been feeling weaker, heavier, or more painful? Is climbing stairs or even standing for a long time becoming a challenge? If you answered yes, pay attention. What I'm going to show you now can explain exactly what's happening, and the most surprising thing, it has to do with two vitamins that you probably consider beneficial to your health. Development, Part 1. What's behind leg weakness? Some foods and supplements, even those considered healthy, may be silently harming your muscle strength. There are two vitamins that, combined with certain eating habits, end up accelerating the weakening of the legs, compromising joints, causing discomfort and taking away your stability when walking. The scary thing is that this is all part of your daily routine. Every meal, every sip, without realizing it, you may be feeding the very weakness you feel. And what's worse, maybe you're even buying these vitamins at the pharmacy, thinking you're taking care of your health. Development, Part 2. Discover the truth. 137. In this video, you will understand what is behind the pain, swelling, stiffness and constant feeling of tiredness in your legs. I will show you what needs to be avoided and what you can change now to regain your strength, energy and quality of life. If you want to keep your legs firm and grow old independently, watch until the end. Part 3. The invisible enemy, sugar. Sweets and desserts are seen as sources of pleasure, but after the age of 60, they can become great villains. Excessive consumption of refined sugar causes inflammation in the body, especially in the muscles and joints, which can make the legs more painful, sensitive, and fragile. Additionally, sugar contributes to insulin resistance, impairing your muscles' ability to use energy efficiently. This causes loss of muscle strength and weight gain, which in turn puts further strain on the legs and joints. With more body weight, the wear on the joints intensifies, pain and a constant feeling of weakness appear. For those who are already in the natural process of muscle loss due to age, the risk is even greater. Not to mention that excess sugar increases the production of toxins in the body, further fueling inflammation. Few people know, but sugar also affects blood circulation. High consumption can lead to vascular problems that reduce blood flow to the legs. With less oxygen and nutrients, muscles cannot regenerate properly, which delays recovery and accelerates loss of strength. Part 4. Sweets, temporary pleasure, lasting damage. Industrialized desserts are also poor in essential nutrients for muscles, such as protein and magnesium. In practice, you consume empty calories that only weaken your body. This type of unbalanced diet is one of the main reasons for muscle loss in old age. Think about it, that harmless piece of cake could be undermining your strength and independence. To make matters worse, many supermarket sweets still contain preservatives and dyes that increase inflammation and make the situation worse. Part 5. Industrial sweets and natural alternatives. These components harm the body's natural balance and directly affect the muscles. When combined with sugar, they form a mixture that is extremely harmful to health. A simple and powerful attitude is to replace these desserts with natural options, such as fruit with cinnamon or homemade sweets with less sugar. Yes, you can still eat dessert, just make smarter choices that respect your body. Your taste buds will adapt, and your legs will thank you for it. Part 6. Fried foods, a tasty enemy. Fried foods like French fries can be irresistible, but after the age of 60, the damage they cause can no longer be ignored. Rich in trans and saturated fats, these foods increase inflammation levels in the body. This inflammation affects muscles and joints, causing stiffness in the legs, constant pain, and even favoring injuries. The fat in fried foods also hinders blood circulation, hindering the oxygenation of the muscles. This weakens the muscle regeneration capacity and makes it difficult for the body to recover. Additionally, these fats can clog blood vessels, further limiting the transport of essential nutrients to your leg muscles. Some of the biggest villains are donuts, nuggets, and fries. But before I continue, I want to know if you're following along with me. Leave a comment below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Turn on notifications to always receive valuable content about health after 60. If you've been watching this far, comment 1 if this video makes sense to you. If not, enter 0. Frequent consumption of these foods overloads the circulatory system and the skeleton. The truth is that the flavor doesn't make up for the loss. Have you ever noticed that after eating fried foods, your legs feel heavier and more painful? This is your body reacting to excess harmful fat. These foods are also slow to digest, which consumes a lot of energy and leaves less strength for the muscles. This type of diet directly contributes to leg fatigue. Eating fried food frequently also leads to weight gain, and more weight means more pressure on your legs. And the cycle continues. Furthermore, fried foods have low nutritional value. They provide almost no proteins, vitamins, or minerals. A diet rich in this type of food causes imbalance and favors the loss of muscle mass. With fewer muscles, the legs lose firmness, stability, and security in movements. Avoiding fried foods is one of the simple measures that can preserve your mobility and independence. Swapping frying for roasted, boiled, or grilled preparations already makes a big difference to the health of your legs. Part 7. White bread, a villain in disguise. White bread is common for breakfast and snacks, but after the age of 60, its impact on the body is far from harmless. Made with refined flour, it goes through a process that removes fiber and important nutrients. Result: a quickly absorbed carbohydrate that raises blood glucose and directly affects muscle health. Because it has a high glycemic index and is low in fiber, white bread promotes insulin resistance. This makes it difficult for glucose to enter muscle cells, compromising the energy and strength needed for simple, everyday tasks. The less energy the muscles receive, the more difficult it is to maintain firmness in the legs, and this accelerates the loss of muscle mass, something common with advancing age. In this scenario, white bread stops being a neutral food and becomes a weakening agent. It does not help with muscle recovery and is poor in proteins and minerals. And to combat sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass, the elderly need more protein on their plate. Consuming white bread daily and ignoring protein sources is a mistake that weakens the body meal after meal. The result? Legs weaker, unstable, and tired. Furthermore, it contributes to weight gain, especially when combined with butter, cheese, or sweets. Alcohol directly impairs the absorption of essential minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Without these nutrients, muscles lose strength and bones become more fragile, which increases the risk of falls and fractures. Furthermore, alcohol delays muscle recovery after any physical effort. This means more pain, more fatigue, and a greater chance of injury. It also dehydrates the body, which reduces muscle flexibility and favors the dreaded leg cramps. And there's more: alcohol affects the functioning of the liver, which is essential in the production of important substances for tissue regeneration. Alcoholic drinks are high in calories and contribute to the accumulation of abdominal fat, even in seemingly small amounts. This extra weight puts extra strain on your legs and puts more strain on your joints. Added to the natural loss of muscle mass with aging, the impact on mobility can be devastating. Have you ever woken up feeling exhausted and sore after a night of drinking? This is a reflection of the stress that alcohol causes on muscles and joints. Frequent consumption also increases inflammation in the body, worsening pain and decreasing the desire to move. In the long term, this weakens the ability to maintain an active, healthy lifestyle. And soon, I will reveal 2 vitamins that, contrary to popular belief, can weaken your legs if used inappropriately. But before. Part 9. Processed meats, practicality that costs expensive. Processed meats, such as bacon, ham, and sausage, are practical, but they hide serious dangers for the health of your legs. They are rich in sodium and chemical preservatives, which promote chronic inflammation in the body. This inflammation directly affects joints, causing constant pain in the legs, ankles, and knees. Furthermore, these meats are high in saturated fat, which reduces muscle blood flow, increases bad cholesterol, and impairs circulation. With less oxygen and nutrients, leg muscles become weaker and have difficulty regenerating. The result is a progressive weakening of the legs, making simple, everyday tasks difficult. Furthermore, these meats overload the liver and kidneys, which are essential for eliminating toxins from the body. When this system fails, muscle fatigue intensifies. Some studies show that the preservatives present in processed meats also affect glucose metabolism, making it difficult to supply energy to the muscles. The direct effect is felt in the legs, with a feeling of weakness and constant heaviness. Despite the practicality, the losses are great. Precisely at the stage of life when the body needs the most care, it is not worth giving up on the quality of your diet. Choose healthy proteins: eggs, fish, chicken, or lean cuts of beef. With small substitutions, the body begins to react. Legs become lighter, stronger, and firmer. Swap the bacon for avocado or olive oil, the sausage for scrambled eggs, and the ham for shredded chicken. Between flavor and health, the right choice guarantees more freedom and vitality. Part 10. Noodles, quick to prepare, slow to recover. 1631. Noodles seem to be the perfect solution for those looking for practicality, but after 60, their effects are dangerous. Produced with refined flour and chemical additives, it has very low nutritional value. It is rich in calories, but low in fiber, protein, and micronutrients, everything the body needs to maintain muscle mass. One of the biggest problems is the high sodium content. One serving can contain more than half of the daily recommendation. Excess sodium causes fluid retention, leaving your legs swollen and painful. Furthermore, it increases blood pressure and compromises circulation, making muscle nutrition and recovery difficult. Impaired blood flow weakens muscle tissues and slows recovery. And the ready-made seasonings that accompany the noodles contain additives associated with chronic inflammatory processes, which further worsens leg health. Part 11. Noodles and its hidden risks. In addition to excess sodium, noodles contain preservatives, dyes and monosodium glutamate, all related to silent inflammatory processes. Even mild, these inflammations compromise the joints and accelerate muscle deterioration. Over time, this condition causes more pain, stiffness and movement limitations. The impact on metabolism is also worrying. The absence of fiber causes the glycemic index to increase, raising blood sugar levels. This deregulates insulin and impairs the use of energy by muscles. When muscles cannot receive adequate energy, they weaken and get tired easily. With a bad diet, even a simple walk to the bakery can become a tiring challenge. Part 12. Industrial cakes, the sweet that sabotages your legs.
1858.
They smell like childhood and taste like a party, but industrialized cakes hide serious risks for your legs, especially after the age of 60. Loaded with refined sugar, hydrogenated fat and synthetic preservatives, these foods disrupt metabolism and cause inflammation. Excess sugar impairs insulin and facilitates the accumulation of body fat, creating a poor environment for maintaining muscle strength. And trans fats, used to add flavor and increase shelf life, increase bad cholesterol, reduce good cholesterol and compromise blood circulation. With poor circulation, leg muscles do not receive enough nutrients and weaken. In the long term, this leads to loss of lean mass, joint stiffness and difficulty moving. Furthermore, ingredients such as emulsifiers, stabilizers and dyes interfere with the immune system and stimulate inflammation in the leg joints. This causes pain, reduces mobility and begins a dangerous cycle of sedentary lifestyle and muscle loss. Despite being tasty, these cakes have a high caloric value and very low nutritional value. They lack protein, calcium and magnesium, essential for bones and muscles. It's like fueling your body with adulterated fuel. The engine, your muscles, starts to fail. Fatigue appears, movements become slower and the body loses vigor. We often opt for practicality without realizing the price our body pays. But you can make homemade cakes with wholemeal flour, fruits and natural oils, with flavor and health at the same time. By re-educating your palate, you gain more firmness, disposition and quality of life. Your body thanks you. Part 13. Ultra-processed cheeses, a villain hidden in the refrigerator. Processed cheeses such as cottage cheese, sliced and processed cheeses seem harmless, but they are traps for those who want to maintain strong legs after 60. They contain a lot of sodium and saturated fat, affecting both muscles and circulation. Sodium retains fluid and increases blood pressure. Saturated fat reduces the elasticity of blood vessels.
The result?
Swollen, heavy and painful legs. These cheeses also often contain preservatives and phosphates that alter the balance of minerals in the body. This directly affects calcium and magnesium, minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone health. Their poor absorption causes muscle fatigue, joint pain and night cramps. As the leg muscles are large and used constantly, they are the first to give warning signs. And unlike artisanal cheeses, which preserve their nutrients, industrialized cheeses lose much of their nutritional value in the process. Even though you consume calories, your body does not receive the amino acids necessary to maintain muscle mass. And the loss of muscle mass is directly linked to the loss of autonomy in old age. Small paths turn into big obstacles. And it all starts with the type of cheese you put on the bread. Replace these cheeses with more natural versions such as ricotta, cottage or fresh minus cheese. Your body will feel the difference. Part 14. Industrial ice creams, the relief that fades. We are getting close to revealing the 2 worst vitamins for your legs, but first, let's talk about another common villain, industrialized ice cream. Despite being refreshing, it is a caloric and inflammatory bomb. Rich in saturated fats and refined sugar, this food causes spikes in blood glucose followed by sudden drops, which destabilizes muscle energy. Part 15. Industrial ice creams, the taste that weakens. That feeling of weak, heavy and tired legs can be a result of something seemingly harmless, ice cream. Especially low-quality ones contain saturated fat, which harms the cardiovascular system. With compromised circulation, oxygen-rich blood has difficulty reaching the extremities of the body, such as the legs. This generates tingling, numbness, frequent cramps and gradual loss of mobility. In the long term, muscle weakness increases and the risk of falls increases. Furthermore, industrialized ice creams contain artificial colors, emulsifiers and thickeners that intensify silent inflammation in the body. And this constant inflammation is one of the main causes of wear and tear on joints and muscle tissues. These foods also mess with the digestive and hormonal systems, making it difficult to absorb important nutrients for maintaining muscle strength. In other words, the body becomes weak, even if you are fed. They are empty calories that do not nourish, rebuild muscles, or strengthen joints. The result: less firmness in the legs, more pain in everyday life, and less willingness to walk or move. Part 16. Milk chocolates, a sweet harm for your legs. A favorite of many, milk chocolate seems harmless, but its frequent consumption poses serious risks for those over 60. It is rich in sugar and saturated fat, a combination that activates inflammation and wears out muscles and joints. Most commercial chocolates contain little cocoa, where the beneficial antioxidants are. Instead, they have many preservatives and artificial sweeteners, which overload the liver and pancreas and hinder the absorption of essential nutrients for the muscles. Simple sugars are quickly absorbed, causing insulin spikes that drain muscle energy. For those who already have difficulty maintaining lean mass, this is disastrous. Furthermore, constant consumption can increase abdominal fat, further placing additional strain on the knees, hips, and ankles. The good news? It is possible to have pleasure with awareness. Chocolates with a high cocoa content offer flavonoids that improve circulation and help muscles. When consumed in balance, they can even benefit your vascular health. The secret is in choice and quantity. Part 17. Canned food, convenience that charges a high price. Quick and practical, canned foods hide dangerous traps for leg health. Preservatives such as sodium benzoate and nitrite, as well as dyes and excess salt, are highly inflammatory. Consumed frequently, they hinder muscle regeneration and compromise tissue oxygenation. And excess salt retains fluids, causing swelling, a feeling of heaviness and pain in the legs. This accumulation may indicate poor circulation and inflammation in the tissues, something common in those who already suffer from hypertension. Worse, sodium overloads the cardiovascular system and makes it difficult to deliver nutrients to the muscles. Even canned vegetables and meats lose much of their nutrients in the industrial process. What's left is food poor in vitamins and minerals, but rich in toxins that the body needs to fight. This generates metabolic stress, chronic tiredness, and a drop in muscle performance. And the problem goes further. Some cans release small amounts of aluminum, which over time can accumulate in the body. Studies indicate that this can affect the neurological system and muscle function, increasing the risk of falls, imbalances, and progressive weakness. Given this, the smartest choice is to avoid canned foods whenever possible, preferring fresh or frozen foods. Part 18. Stuffed biscuits and snacks, a silent attack on your legs. Many people still consume sandwich cookies and snacks as an everyday snack. But after the age of 60, this habit can accelerate the loss of strength in the legs. These foods are full of artificial substances such as colorings, flavorings, preservatives, and stabilizers. They overload the liver and kidneys, impair circulation, and make it difficult to absorb the nutrients that muscles need to function well. They are low in minerals, proteins, and fiber, but high in empty calories. For those who are aging, this is especially problematic, as the body naturally loses muscle mass and does not retain nutrients like it used to. Sugar, hydrogenated fat, and excess salt only accelerate this decline. The so-called trans fats present in these foods block arteries and prevent the blood from carrying oxygen and nutrients to the leg muscles. This causes pain, fatigue, and a feeling of weakness. Furthermore, excess sodium favors fluid retention, leaving your legs swollen. This combination of poor diet and poor circulation creates the ideal environment for varicose veins, chronic pain, and a feeling of heaviness when walking. Worse, these snacks cause glucose spikes followed by sudden drops, which generates tiredness and the desire to eat more, a dangerous cycle for the body. Swapping these products for natural and nutritious snacks completely changes this reality. Part 19. Ready-made seasonings, broths, and instant noodles, an enemy called monosodium glutamate. Ready-made seasonings, meat broths, packaged soups, instant noodles, and frozen dishes often contain monosodium glutamate. Although it is used to enhance flavor, its effects on the body go far beyond that. In people over 60, frequent consumption can directly affect the leg muscles. This additive acts on neurotransmitters that control muscle contraction, causing pain, tingling, fatigue, and even slight tremors. Over time, the body becomes more sensitive to this type of toxic substance, which also inflames joints, muscles, and blood vessels. The result: poor circulation, cramps, loss of mobility, and muscle weakness. Glutamate also disrupts energy metabolism within muscles, making it difficult to transform glucose into strength. Even simple actions like climbing stairs or walking short distances become more difficult. Many people consume glutamate without realizing it. It appears on labels with names such as flavor enhancer, yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, or natural flavor. The best alternative? Homemade seasonings with herbs, garlic, onion, lemon, and olive oil. Part 20. The surprising truth about vitamins, when too many are bad. Now, let's reveal something that few know, the 2 worst vitamins for your legs when consumed in excess.
Too much vitamin A.
Vitamin A is essential for vision, immunity, and skin health. But after the age of 60, the body has more difficulty eliminating the excess of this vitamin, especially if it comes from supplements. The result can be a toxic buildup in the liver and joints. One of the most common signs of this intoxication is muscle pain, especially in the legs and back, caused by inflammation in muscle tissues. Excess vitamin D, what was a medicine, can become a problem. Vitamin D is important for bones and the immune system, which is why it is highly recommended for the elderly. But excess of it, usually due to excessive supplementation, can cause a problem called hypervitaminose D. This accumulation leads to muscle pain, weakness, and even loss of motor coordination. Unlike other vitamins that the body eliminates easily, vitamin D is fat-soluble, that is, it accumulates in fatty tissue. Excess of this vitamin increases calcium levels in the blood, hypercalcemia, which causes stiffness in the legs, a burning sensation in muscles, cramps, and joint pain. This directly affects nerves and muscle contraction. Additionally, vitamin D can cause calcification of soft tissues, such as muscles and tendons, making areas such as knees, calves, and thighs harder and more painful during exertion. What should protect starts to restrict movement. Another serious problem, large doses of vitamin D can overload the kidneys, organs that balance minerals in the blood. When they fail, there is fluid retention, swelling in the legs, muscle pain, and a feeling of weakness. In other words, excess vitamin D starts a dangerous cycle: more vitamin, more calcium, less kidney function, more muscle problems. Therefore, vitamin D supplementation should always be done based on blood tests and medical advice. Many people believe that vitamins are only good for you, but excess can be as dangerous as lack, especially when it comes to mobility and leg health.
Last part, closing.
If you want to continue taking care of your health and the strength of your legs, subscribe to the channel. This space was created to help you grow old with a better quality of life, autonomy, and energy. And now, click on the video that is appearing on your screen. Until the next video.